Today you join me to see if we can progress through to the last 16 of the Champions League, the only trophy that we haven't won yet in this series. Can we do it? Let's go and find out. Welcome to episode 90 of Making Chelsea Stand Proud. My name's Mark, and on today's episode we feature both legs of the Champions League knockout playoff matches, and it's against Ludogorets Razgrad, who are a team from Bulgaria, of all places. Oh, good old Uncle Bulgaria. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification button. It all helps here on YouTube, and it's a big thank you from me for your support in this channel and also this particular series. Before we get into what's happened since you were last with us, what we're going to do is we are actually going to go through for the draw for the 5th round of the FA Cup, because we won in the FA Cup the 4th round, beating Swansea in the last episode. We did say we would come back and start with that draw for the 5th round. So I'm going to hand you to past Mark, who's got the draw for the 5th round. Thank you to future Mark as you join me for this draw for the 5th round of the Emirates FA Cup. There are 16 teams in the draw, and the teams amongst them are Manchester City, Middlesbrough, Leeds, Liverpool, Sheffield United, Everton, Reading, Leicester, Fulham, Brentford, Luton Town, Chelsea, Newcastle, Watford, Arsenal and Sunderland. So this is the draw then, and we'll get underway. Manchester City are the first team out. They will play Middlesbrough. Manchester City versus Middlesbrough, both in the Premier League, of course. Leeds will play Liverpool. Leeds-Liverpool. It's a tie of old, that one. Sheffield United, they will play Everton. Another all-Premier League tie. Reading, currently of the Championship, I think. Yep. Reading will play Leicester. Fulham will play Brentford. An all-London tie there. Luton Town, the Championship, will play Chelsea. So we will play Luton Town in the FA Cup. We'll continue to draw as there's only a few teams left. Newcastle will play Watford. Newcastle versus Watford, which means the final tie will be Arsenal-Sunderland. But which way round? It is going to be Arsenal versus Sunderland. So that is the draw for the 5th round of the Emirates FA Cup. Recap: Manchester City play Middlesbrough. Leeds play Liverpool. Sheffield United will play Everton. Reading will play Leicester. Fulham will play Brentford. Luton will play Chelsea. Watford, victors over Manchester United in the last round, will go to St James Park and face Newcastle. And then Arsenal are at home to Sunderland, and that is the draw. I'll hand you back to future Mark, who will show you how that looks in the schedule. And thank you very much to past Mark for that draw for the 5th round of the FA Cup. Luton Town it is then at actually I've completely forgotten where they played. Power Court, apparently. Used to be called something Road. It'll come to me in due course. But that's coming up in the next episode. Luton Town and Leicester in the next episode. So we'll look out for that. Can we progress to the quarterfinals? I think after that. Is it 5th round, quarterfinals, semi-finals? I think it is. Can we go through to the quarterfinals? Of course, we are current holders of the FA Cup. So that is what we want to do. Since you were last with us, that FA Cup episode third round replay and then a fourth round match. We have played Southampton in the Premier League. A bit of a dour affair, really, because we were 2 goals down at half time, 2-0. Bajarami after 18 and Martial with a goal after 46 minutes put them Southampton 2 up at half time, really giving us the all sorts of problems. Give the team a right old pasting at half time, told them off, and we sort of fixed it. 23 shots, 12 on target, 2.98, 64% of the possession. I guess with an XG of 2.98, we should have won it, really. Barbosa getting one back after 59, but it took until 87 minutes, and Gavardiol getting his second or third goal of the season on 87, but we never really just had that enough to get a win out of that game. But I guess at half time we were losing and really didn't expect to get a draw out of it, but we did. We've got to play a lot better today if we're going to beat Ludogorets, Razgrad in this competition, the Champions League knockout. Can we find out? Some games have already been played, as you will see. We were not really going to focus on that. What I was actually going to try and find out, if we can find out how they've done so far. I think probably the easiest way, to be fair, is to go back. Here we go, Ludogorets. Actually, is to go into Ludogorets and have a look. Where are we? Ludogorets. So if we go into their schedule, we should be able to see senior team. Here we go. So they've come all the way from the second qualifying round. They come through the qualifying phases. They're in the league phase. Hellas Verona lost 2-1. Celtic lost 2-1. They drew 1-1 with Barcelona. Goodness me. Kirillov, I note, is their player. He's got 3 goals out of all this. A 6-0 thrashing from Monaco and a 1-0 loss against Anderlecht. They beat Eindhoven by 2-0. Lost 5-0 to Manchester City and a 1-0 win against Lyon. As I say, Kirillov is the player that we've potentially got to watch out for in this knockout play. So they've done very well to get to here. They play at the Ludogorets Arena in Razgrad, Bulgaria. That's where we're going first for our first game against them. We've never played them before. Just checking. I didn't think we had, but you never know. Something might have crept in that I'd completely forgotten about. Right, without any more to do, let's get on with the episode then, and the away leg of this Champions League knockout playoff match. And here is the team that will face Ludogorets in this first leg of the Champions League knockout playoffs. And the team looks like this. Maganan in goal. Cucurella, Gavidiol, Fafana and Timber make up our defensive line. Kovacic and Fratesi making his, I'm not sure if it's his debut. It's not his debut, but it may be one of his first starts in central midfield alongside Kovacic. Koeman out on the left, Sterling out on the right, Mount sat in the middle between them, and I'm going to make him an advanced playmaker. I'm not sure where he likes that. I think he's better as that, with Havertz in front of him leading the attack for this one. Karnasechi, Koulibaly, Savic, Tell, Garcia, Fernandez, Barbosa, who doesn't get a start today, James, Kante coming back from injury, of course, so Brozier, Dewsbury Hall and Andrew all on the bench. And snow on the ground is what you can see. And that's how Ludogorets set up with a defensive midfielder. We're playing our 4-2-3-1. Mason Mount is captain. And confirmation of the two teams for you. And our first highlight, 12 minutes in, it's Ludogorets with the ball. Can't see it very well, can we? Sterling gets that one forward to Mount. Mount's in space. He's held it up, pulled it back, and it's in the back of the net. Kingsley Coman, his 7th goal of the season, and 13 minutes on the clock. We're 1 up, and long way to go. Mount cutting that back. Koeman firing that into the back of the net. Highlight from kickoff. And that danger man for Ludogorets, Kirlov. Gavroldio gets that out. That ball out wide to Sterling. And we're motoring down here. Sterling pulls it back. Timber, cross it in. Havertz just over the top. Corner from Mount. Mount swings it in. And who was that? That was Fofana heading it over. And Tonev. I thought I said Tony for a minute. And Ludogorets with this highlight. It's gone out wide. And they come in. It's nicely in. Oh, that man who started that off, was it? Oh, no, it was the danger man, Kirlov. And Magan making a fine save from him. Need to be on our guard. Danger ensues. It's deep and it's headed out for another corner. On the other side this time. The immediate danger continues. Swung in, but Magnan collects that one. Free kick, Mount with a free kick. Deep, and it's in the back of the net. Kai Havertz with his 37th of the season, and it's 2-0 after 32 minutes. Much better, long, deep one, and defenders not getting to Havertz. In fact, Gavardiol and Timber, I think, protected Havertz. Havertz was coming from deep. And no more highlights in this first half. 2-0 at half-time. Kingsley Coman on 13. Kai Havertz on 32. 6 shots, 2 on target, 0.43. We've only had 44% of the possession, though. Ludogorets have had a lot more of the possession. 5 shots, 1 on target for them, and a 0.52 on the old XG. More of the same second half would be very nice. And obviously we can take a nice, tidy lead, hopefully, back to Stamford Bridge. First highlight comes after 52 minutes of the second half, that is. And a corner headed over the top. And with 65 minutes on the clock, making a couple of changes. Raheem Sterling not having such a good day today. He's off. And that man, Gabriel Barbosa, is on for him. And Joran Timber has come off, and Reece James replaces him. And as you will note, it is a bit of a swap around. Just realised why Sterling probably wasn't playing very well. Seemed to have got the attack and what's it's round the wrong way here, but never mind, we've sorted it out now. So changes on the right hand side of the park with Barbosa and James coming on as replacements. And we have a highlight. Milanov throws to Aramov. And the ball still in Ludogorets' thing. Oh, he's got to stop him. He's having a shot. It's gone over the top, though. 75 minutes on the clock, and it's a free kick. It's gone out for a corner. Ludogorets still putting on the pressure. Be looking to try and level it out a little bit with a second leg still to come, of course. Offside. And with 77 minutes on the clock, made the rest of our changes. Gavardiol has come off. Koulibaly comes on to replace him. He's tiring, and he's not had the best of days, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Kovacic, he's off. Kante comes on, coming back from injury, of course, Kante. And Mason Mount has come off. He's had a good day. He's tiring. And Dewsbury Hall comes on to replace him. And Ludogorets had us again, but Fofana steps in, and that was a poor ball. Who was that from? Havertz, of all people. Trying to get that out on the wing, and Koulibaly heading that on. Goes out to Barbosa. Barbosa is out there. Fofana. Fofana finds Kante. Kante finds Koeman. Koeman's been brought down, and it's second yellow card, and off goes a player. Petrus gets red, and we have the free kick. Can James score from here? Oh, he's come back off the woodwork, or the goalkeeper saved it. I'm not sure which. And 4 minutes of injury time. We're in the second minute of that injury time. James has that down. Fatisi gets that forward to Barbosa. Barbosa, lovely play. And it's in the back of the net. Dewsbury Hall is going to be offside, or is it VAR's going to look at this? Dewsbury Hall gets it in the back of the net. And are we going back with a 3-0? Here we are. It's 3-0 and 38th. Oh, it was Kai Havertz, actually. 38th goal of the season. Barbosa, lovely play. Dewsbury Hall knocks it in. Havertz heads it in. And the ball play. He was onside because the ball was played back in the final minute of added time. It's been -4 here in Bulgaria. A light snow on the pitch. Tricky. Oh, let's just put that wide. Magnan come out for it. And let's put it wide. And we're in overtime now. Fofana comes forward, finds James. James back to Fofana. Fofana, James. James, it's all over. And a 3-0 win it is. Kai Havertz getting his second on 92 minutes. 19 shots, 6 on target, 2.13, 49% of the possession. Had a bit more in that second half, which was rather good there. 10 shots, 4 on target, 1 on the XG, 51% of the possession. We're taking 3-goal lead back to Stamford Bridge. They've got a bit of a mountain to climb if they're going to catch us. And confirmation of tonight's result, 3-0. Hellas Verona beating Benfica by 4-2. And Wolves beating Athletic Club by 2-0. And I think that is an aggregate score as well. So I think they were playing second leg games. So Wolves have progressed to the last 16. Will we meet them in the last 16? This is the question. And in fact, here is confirmation of that. It was a last second leg, and Rangers have beaten Red Bull Salzburg by 3-1. They were a goal down after the first leg, but they've come back, won it 3-2 on aggregate. They're through. That's after extra time. They're through to the next round as well. And so week has passed since that first leg. We have the second leg against Stamford Bridge, at Stamford Bridge, should I say, not Stamford Bridge. Team uses Kingsley Koeman's picked up. He's got pulled ankle ligaments. He's going to be out. And Rodrigo isn't still back. He's on his way back, but he's not quite there yet. Recovering, of course, from broken ribs. So that will leave us with a team that has a 3-goal lead effectively at half time in this tie, and a chance to go through to the draw for the last 16 of the Champions League competition we have yet to win in the series. Let's go and have a look at the team that will face Ludogorets then in this second leg. And here's the team that will face Ludogorets in this second leg of the knockout playoff phase. And if you're just wondering why I've changed tops, because I had my tea in between recording and I slopped. Maganan in goal then, Chilwell, Gavaldol, Garcia and Timber. Gavardiol. Get that right in a minute. Timber on the right. Dewsbury Hall and Savic in central midfield. Mateus Tell and Barbosa playing wide. Mount sitting behind Havertz up front. And on the bench we have Karnasechi, Fofana, Fernandez, Sterling, James, Kovacic, Broja, Koulibaly, Fratisi, Cucurella, Angerin and Kante. And being Champions League, we have Champions League screens. We're playing our 4-2-3-1. Ludogorets, they're playing a 4-1-4-1. As the teams come out, a check on the two teams. And not quite 15 minutes in, our first highlight. Highlight to us, Barbosa. Mount through to Timber. Timber chips the goalkeeper. And it's 4-0 on aggregate, 1-0 on the night. I think that's Timber's first goal of the season. Sergi tried to get it through. It come off of the opposing player. A lovely through ball. And Timber chips the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper comes out remonstrating with his defender. A corner now. Mount with the corner. Swung in. I'm sure lost sight of the ball then for a minute. And who was that? That was Barbosa. Headed that straight to the thing. But Barbosa's won it back and had a shot. They have a corner now. Swung deep, but Magnan is there. Plucks it out of the air. Magnan rolls it out to Garcia. To Timber. Timber comes forward. Savic. Mount. Barbosa through to Havertz. And Havertz tucks it away for his 39th of the season. And we go 2 up after 23 minutes. And the scoreline on aggregate is 5-0. And we are going through to the last 16, that is for sure. But it's going to be tougher in the last 16. They have a free kick. It's swung in. It's headed clear. And cleared, but only as far as them. The reason it will be tougher in the last 16 is because we've qualified through the playoffs. The teams that qualified by automatic will get an advantage, and the advantage is, good save by Magnan, it gone out for a corner. The advantage is that we will play the first leg at home, so it's a reverse, so we need to get a decent result at home, basically. Ludogorets having a lot more of the game than they did in the away game. By what's gone on there? Tails different wavelength, but they've managed to sort it out between them. Tell into the area, has a go, and it's should have crossed that in. And half-time comes, no more highlights. Ludogorets have had 2 shots, 1 on target, 0.41, 47% of the possession. We've had 18 shots, 4 of which have been on target. 1.58 and 53% of the possession. Really should be hitting the target a bit more than that. It's 5-0, 2-0 on the night, 5-0 on aggregate. And we are, as it stands, in the last 16 of the Champions League. And our first highlight of the second half. Chilwell with a corner. It's gone in. And it's Gavardiol getting his 3rd goal of the season. And he's good from those corners. He does like to get up and put this away. And he's done it again. And it's 3-0 on the night. 6-0 on aggregate. And with 70 minutes on the clock, we've made 3 changes. Garcia is off. Fofana has come on to replace him. Mateus Tell, he's come off. And Sterling is on for him on that left-hand side. And Mason Mount has come off. Dewsbury Hall moves into the attacking... we'll make him an attacking playmaker because he prefers to be an attacking playmaker. And Kante comes on to make a little bit of a cameo appearance, shall we say. He's come on as a box-to-box midfielder in that central mid. Another corner. Dewsbury Hall with the corner. And Gavaldo doubles his goals for the evening. And again from the corner, it's 4-0 on the night. 7-0 on aggregate, and Gavaldo gets up again. Goal kick for Ludogorets as they try and come out looking for some sort of consolation from this game. Ludogorets, it's a lovely ball. It's into the area, and they have got a consolation goal. Paskelev. And 7-1, 4-1 on aggregate. Through a raft of defenders. And with 86 minutes on the clock, made our final two changes. We've taken off Yaran Timber and, excuse me, brought on Reece James. And we've also taken off Savic and brought on Enzo Fernandez. A free kick now. James with the free kick. He's just come on. And he has a shot. It's saved or hit the woodwork. I'm not sure which. But they come forward again. And cut out by Chilwell. Free kick from Chilwell. It's headed across goal. And couldn't put it away. In added time, and it's all over. It's 7-1 on aggregate, 4-1 on the night, which means we'll start the next episode with a draw for the last 16. 30 shots, 10 on target, 2.45 on the XG, 53% of the possession. They had 4 shots, 3 in target, 0.51, 47% of the possession. We're through to the last 16 of the Champions League. The one thing we haven't won this series. Confirmation of that scoreline, and Hellas Verona and Benfica playing out a 0-0, 4-2 from the first leg, and that's how it finished. And just confirmation of the knockout playoff round, how it's all finished. Everton have beaten Real Sociedad 5-1 on aggregate. Bayern Munich are through, having beaten AC Milan by 2-0 on aggregate. Wolves, they're through against Athletic Club, 2-0 on aggregate. Rangers are through against a Red Bull Salzburg 3-2 on aggregate. We've beaten Ludogorets by 7-1. Hellas Verona, they have beaten Benfica 4-2. Leicester have beaten RB Leipzig by the same scoreline, 4-2. And Manchester City beat Inter by 2-0, which means, by my reckoning, we've got Everton, Wolves, Rangers, Chelsea, Leicester and Manchester City in the last 16, which is rather interesting. Having said all of that, of course, all these are coming through via the playoffs and not by the automatic route. So that will set us up with the draw then for the knockout stages, which start with the round of 16. We'll come up with that, as I said, at the start of the next episode. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. We'll come to that in a minute, but here we go. It's going to come. I thought we were going to have Luton Town and Leicester. It's not going to be the case. We're going to come back for Luton Town and the first leg of the round of 16. We will be at home. So just note that, and then we'll be coming back for... we've had Manchester United, I think, already. I'll check. I think we've had Manchester United already this series. So, and we had a bad result against them last time. There it is, the semi-final, because we played them there. So I'm thinking we haven't really seen Leicester. We'll play Leicester probably in the second episode. So it's going to be Luton Town and a round of 16, and then it'll be Leicester and a round of 16 for the episode after that. And of course, then we're motoring down to the end of the Premier League season as these games come thick and fast. And I'm guessing, depending on what happens with the fifth round tie, we potentially will have an FA Cup tie in there somewhere as well. Just a quick look and see if we can find out when the sixth round will come up. The draw, well, it's got quarter-final as it is, 21st of March. 21st of March. How does that fit into the schedule then? 21st of March comes up here, so yeah, you can see what's contriving, can't you? So it's going to be Luton and the last 16, Leicester and the last 16, and then potentially where Leeds is. Leeds keeps getting moved because of the FA Cup. Leeds there, so that potentially will come out again, and we'll have the FA Cup quarter-final if we get that far, and possibly Wolves again. We've had Wolves a lot this series. Hopefully Leeds will stay in there somewhere. And I think it's an international break at the end of March as well, isn't it? So anyway, we'll see how that all falls out in due course. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe and hit the notification button. It keeps you up to date with all future episodes of this series and To Be a Legend series and any new series as it is released. And of course, it helps me out here on the channel as well, which is absolutely splendid. New episodes of Making Chelsea Stand Proud currently released every Tuesday and Friday at 4:15 p.m. And if you want to keep up to date with what's happening on this channel and more, then the best way of doing it is to follow me on Twitter at JustOffside2 or X or whatever it's called now. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you for the next episode. It'll be episode 91. It's out on Tuesday, which means there's a weekend in between. Have yourself a good weekend. Bye-bye.